Have you ever wondered if those cheap markers are worth buying? Well, stick around and I'll tell you if these pass the test. Hello and welcome into my channel. Today I have a review of the Sargent Art Classic Brush Tip Marker Set. I picked this 12-piece set up the other day at the hobby store for $2.99. These came in a decent little clear plastic package and pretty nice looking colors on the markers from the outside anyway. And they also had a pretty decent feel to them. They didn't feel really cheap like you might think that they would. They actually look pretty nice. Next, I wanted to see the different line widths I could get from these markers and lay down a color swatch. For the line width, I was able to get a pretty good difference depending on how I held the marker. But the bad thing is the difference varied from marker to marker, and I was able to get a thinner line with the red marker than I could get with the blue marker. As far as the color swatch, the ink from the markers matched the outside of the marker case very well, and that's always a good thing for me when I'm deciding on what colors I need to color with. It's always a pain in the rear to pull out a red marker and color something and it turns out orange. So this definitely is a mark on the plus side. Next, I sketched out a little butterfly to color. Now, since this is a marker review video, this is not a great drawing I'm doing, so the rules are no making fun of it, or I might have to bring my markers and draw a mustache on your face or write cuss words on your forehead while you're asleep. I'm just kidding. I really don't have the gas money to be going around looking for everybody. These markers have a nice flow to them when you're coloring in small areas, but I don't really see these as brush markers. They remind me more of a felt tip pen, and the tips are not very flexible. With the smooth covering I got in the smaller areas, I found just the opposite in the larger areas. For the most part, it gets pretty splotchy, but that did depend on what color marker I was using at the time. Also, I did try this on different types of paper and got very similar results with each one. Another thing I noticed with these, trying them out on different types of paper, is that I didn't really get any bleeding. Of course, I didn't try it on every kind of paper, but I did try it on a few different types. I used a notebook, sketchbook, and marker paper as well, and didn't have any problems with bleeding, or nothing major or a big problem anyway. Next, I added an outline and a few details. I had a little trouble in this part with the tip feathering and splitting a little bit, so every time I drew a line it was making two lines. I sort of remedied the problem temporarily by rotating the marker. That helped just enough to finish the drawing, but that's definitely not a good thing when your tips are splitting already in this short amount of time. From here I'll speed it up to the end of the drawing and give my final verdict. Now, I think everybody knows for $2.99 you're not getting professional grade markers. But all in all, I was pretty impressed with these. On the pros side of these markers, they are cheap. I only paid $2.99 for these, and I've actually seen them cheaper. I think these come in nice colors, and the outside of the marker case itself matches the ink really well. They also have a nice feel to them, and I kind of like the case that comes with it. On the con side, the tips split and feathered a little bit on a couple of the markers after minimal use. They're not really like a brush marker either. They are more like a felt tip pen, in my opinion, and they get a little splotchy when you're coloring in larger areas with them. As a whole, I'd have to give these markers a grade of okay. If I were comparing these to only cheap markers, I would probably give them a little higher grade, but they're definitely not too bad, and I have used a lot worse. So if you're trying to decide which pack of cheap markers to get for the kids or a small project, I would have to give these 3 stars out of 5. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more art product reviews as well as other art videos, make sure to subscribe and make sure to enable notifications so you don't miss a video. I will be posting a new video once or twice a week. Also make sure to comment, like, and share. That would really help me out a lot. Thanks for watching.